You may underestimate air guns, especially for survival use, but oh boy, that doesn't mean that these guns are actually useless. By all means, you can actually use them for hunting prey, which of course could come clutch in an instance when you run out of ammo you want. What's up, fellow preppers? I'm Scott from Ant Prepper, and today, you're about to see some big-bore air guns that are actually potent enough to take down big games. But before I begin, I humbly ask each of you to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Those little clicks will help me create more videos that are helpful to preppers and those who simply want to survive this crazy world. Now let's get started. Gamo Big Bore TC45. I want to start this list with an air gun that has a big bore on its name. Kidding aside, the Big Bore TC45 is one of Gamo's first-gen air guns, and that's an important fact to highlight, considering that the company isn't new to air guns. The TC45 basically carries a solid reputation, not only because it's an air rifle from a popular airgun manufacturer, but also because it's an effective big-bore shooter. If you know your air guns, the appearance of the Gamo Big Bore TC45 is a bit similar to the Umarex Rex. I don't know what the story behind this is, but I think that the two companies have a working relationship. Even the functionality of the TC45 doesn't really depart that far from Rex, so I guess it's safe to assume that the two companies are partners, and I am down for it. One of the first things you'll notice about the TC45 is its extended barrel. It's close to 2 feet, or about 24 inches long. Upon closer inspection, you should find a modulator integrated into the barrel, which makes it extra noisy. Heck, it's reasonably hushed even firing a 350-grain 45 caliber pellet with a speed of approximately 900 feet per second and an energy of 400 foot-pounds or so. Its tank, meanwhile, is made from carbon fiber, and this one also serves its stock, which is indeed an interesting design. With a full tank, the TC45 should be able to do 3 full-power shots. On the hunting field, it should be able to take care of feral pigs, coyotes, deer, and even antelopes like pronghorns. Seneca double-barrel PCP shotgun. Its appearance will fool you into thinking that it's your standard hunting shotgun, but a closer inspection will tell you that it's not. Aside from its beautiful architecture, the Seneca double-barrel PCP shotgun is one of those air guns that is more than capable of being an all-rounder hunting rifle. On its core, this Seneca holds 2 big-bore barrels. In particular, both are smooth-bore barrels that are chambered in 50 caliber. They can shoot quote-unquote shells that are filled with number 8 or number 6 shots. According to the company, the payload of every shell can travel over 1,100 feet per second. Now, the question here is if it's a lot. Well, to put things into the proper context, your standard trap loads can blitz their way between 1,100 feet per second and 1,220 feet per second. So does this mean that this shotgun is just average? Not really. You see, the shells of the Seneca double-barrel PCP shotgun are much smaller than 12-gauge shells. Plus, they don't contain a lot of pellets. That makes this airgun a lot more impressive. It can certainly blast even humongous targets at close distances. Moreover, you'll also appreciate that it comes with a sliding breech, which allows for quick reloads. I also have to point out that it accepts 50 caliber slugs and air bolts by simply removing the choke tubes of the barrels. For the slugs, it should be able to generate up to 140 foot-pounds of knockdown power, and for the bolts up to 170 foot-pounds. Definitely not bad for close-range hunting. Umarex hammer. I was not really familiar with the Umarex hammer before, but I kept on hearing about this air gun from some of my hunting buddies. The most insane thing I heard about this rifle is that it's strong enough to put down an American bison or African Cape buffalo to permanent sleep, which is crazy if it's actually real. Of course, I have no way of verifying that since I still haven't got the opportunity to run this thing on really big targets, but right now, I can say that it actually delivers its claim. From what I know, Umarex builds its air guns in a way that makes them replicas of actual guns. But the hammer is different. After all, it's the first big-bore gun that the company produced. This thing is brimming with quality as it was built here in the United States, and it's well capable of delivering up to 700 pounds of mind-blowing energy when used with a 550-grain 51 caliber pellet. Aside from its serious stopping power, the Umarex hammer easily hammers the competition with its full-length Picatinny rail for accessory and optic attachment and Magpul AR-style grip that simplifies the way you hold the gun securely. It even got 3 M-lock attachment points and a rear sling stud to optimize its overall usefulness as a hunting gun. There's also its Foster connection that helps pressurize its carbon fiber reservoir as quickly as possible. By the way, its tank has a maximum pressure hold of 4,500 psi, which is higher than most air rifles out there. The hammer comes with a fantastic trigger, which, if my estimates are correct, should be around 5.5 to 6 pounds. It can do quick follow-ups, thanks to its quick cycling bolt. And the best part about the hammer? It's surprisingly cheaper than the next 2 air guns you'll see here. AirForce Texan 50 CF. This damn gun. Did you know that if you load it with a 520 grain 51 caliber pellet, it could generate up to 800 foot-pounds of energy? For context, that's enough to take care of anything between wild boars, coyotes, and even elk if you get the correct shot placement. Of course, there's no issue when it comes to deer, as those animals don't have thick flesh to negate the impact of the pellet. Well, this kind of performance isn't that surprising, given that the AirForce Texan 50 CF is among the first big-bore air rifles that became a hit in the market, especially among hunters. In fact, there are a lot of variations to this airgun, with some having shrouded barrels to have that extra hush whenever you are shooting. The Texan 50 CF in particular uses a carbon fiber tank, hence the CF designation, and this tank has a pressure rating of up to 2,600 pounds per square inch, which is actually insane. Plus, its valve is optimized to handle such high pressure without compromising its accuracy. And yes, these features are the very reason why it can produce such high energies on a single go. Moreover, it's quite notable that the tank of this airgun can be retrofitted to other older Texan rifles, so that's an added versatility that isn't present on other air rifles on this list. In terms of quality, you can't just complain about it. Its components are considerably quote-unquote premium, such as its 2-stage adjustable trigger and match-grade Lothar barrel. So yeah, even if it's a bit expensive at $1,300 or so, it's still a solid investment for serious hunters and preppers. Hatsan pile driver. One of the more interesting air rifles out there is this thing from Hatsan, which is aptly called pile driver. From its name alone, it kinda gives you an idea of what it can actually do. One of the reasons why it's distinct is because of its compact design. If you are looking for a maneuverable, lightweight airgun, you can use it in dense forests and shrubby or woody terrains. You know what I'm saying. And if you are wondering, then yes, this is kind of a bullpup airgun, but hey, it still has a 33-inch barrel, which means that it is still accurate within practical distances. But never underestimate this little demon. Similar to what the Texan can do, the pile driver can generate energy of up to 800 foot-pounds at 850 feet per second. It's hard to explain the kind of pressure needed to produce these numbers. Basically, the pile driver needs to have an air tank that can hold up to 4,300 psi. Can this take down medium to large games? Of course it can, especially with a marksman placement on the vitals. Moreover, the extensive pressure in its tank is advantageous in a way that the rifle can do up to 5 consistently strong shots. Of course, this becomes handy in times when you need to do quick follow-ups to take down that prey. Notably, you can get the pile driver at a 45 caliber, and this should let you shoot up to 6 shots. Also, it's hard to ignore its ergonomics as it adds to its overall usefulness as a hunting rifle. For example, its butt pad and adjustable cheek rest lets you shoot this hard-hitting as comfortably as possible. Also, it has a long Picatinny rail, which is quite a surprise for its size. So yeah, you can fit virtually any optic out there. Thanks for watching. Times are tough, but I hope that with these videos we will be able to plan, prepare, and act accordingly. Take care and be ready at all times. See you in my next videos.